Shedeur Sanders' excitement could be the spark Cleveland needs. Browns rookie QB opens up about practice chemistry, patience, and his NFL future. Buy your name September 25th, 2025. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room may be one of the most talked about situations in the NFL right now, and surprisingly, one of the key voices coming out of it is a man who hasn't even played a single regular season snap yet. Shedeur Sanders, the highly publicized rookie quarterback and son of Pro Football Hall of Famer and Colorado Buffalo's head coach Coach Prime Sanders, is technically Cleveland's third-string quarterback. Yet, despite his depth chart placement, he continues to draw national headlines, not just because of his last name, but because of how he carries himself, how he speaks to the media, and how he approaches every single week as if he's next man up. This week, Sanders once again showed why Browns fans, and plenty of neutral NFL observers, are so fascinated by his journey. A QB who talks, even without playing. It's rare to see a third-string quarterback doing regular media availabilities. Most third-stringers are ghosts. They run the scout team during practice, sit in meetings, and go largely unnoticed unless there's an injury crisis. But Shedeur Sanders is different. He's been in the spotlight his entire life, first as a high school prodigy at Trinity Christian, then as a breakout star under his father at Jackson State, and later as the face of Colorado's football renaissance under Coach Prime. Now, as a rookie in Cleveland, he remains a storyline, even while holding a clipboard on Sundays. And this week, Sanders made headlines once again by sharing his excitement about a new practice squad addition who just might make his job, running the scout team, a whole lot easier and a lot more fun. The scout team general. Right now, Shedeur's team isn't the starting offense or even the second unit. He runs the scout team, the group tasked with mimicking the upcoming opponent's plays and giving Cleveland's starting defense a realistic look in practice. This might sound like a small assignment, but it's actually crucial. A good scout team can make the difference between a defense being properly prepared for Sunday and getting blindsided by something they didn't practice against. And for Shedeur Sanders, it's an opportunity to lead, to learn, and to build chemistry with the guys who could eventually become his primary weapons if and when he gets his shot as the starter. This week, that chemistry just got a boost. Enter Luke Floria, the hometown favorite. On Wednesday, the Browns announced that Luke Floria, a wide receiver from Mentor, Ohio, had been added to the practice squad. For casual fans, this might sound like a minor move, but for Sanders, it was a big deal because Floria isn't just another practice squad body. He's a guy who already made a name for himself during the preseason, catching passes from Sanders and even delivering one of the most replayed moments of August. A jaw-dropping one-handed grab on the road against the Carolina Panthers, thrown by none other than Sanders himself. Unfortunately, Floria's shot at making the initial 53-man roster was derailed by a hamstring injury. But now he's back, and Sanders couldn't hide his excitement. "We're ready," Sanders told Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot when asked about having Floria and Gage Larvadain back as his scout team targets. For Sanders, these aren't just practice reps. They're opportunities to develop timing, trust, and rhythm with players who could be crucial to his success if he ever takes over the huddle for real. Why this matters for Cleveland? It would be easy for Sanders to disengage right now. After all, he's sitting behind Deshaun Watson, who is playing under one of the richest contracts in NFL history, and veteran backup Jameis Winston. There's no immediate path to the field for Sanders unless injuries or extreme circumstances force the Browns' hand. And yet, he's locked in. He's working on his craft every single day, running plays at full speed, and getting valuable reps against one of the league's top defenses. He's also building chemistry with practice squad guys who might one day become his go-to receivers. That is how franchise quarterbacks are quietly built, long before the rest of the league sees it coming. A culture shift inside the Browns facility. If you followed the Browns over the last decade, you know this franchise has been through more than its fair share of quarterback chaos. From Johnny Manziel to Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson's controversial arrival, stability at the position has been hard to come by. But Sanders represents something different. He's not just talented. He's polished, media savvy, and understands the magnitude of the position he's stepping into. Even as QB3, he's creating a standard for how he and his teammates approach practice. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland's head coach, has praised Sanders multiple times for his work ethic and professionalism, and sources close to the team say Sanders has impressed with his football IQ and ability to pick up the Browns system quickly. Fans haven't forgotten that preseason chemistry. It wasn't that long ago that Sanders and Floria were creating buzz in August, turning preseason games into must-watch television for Browns fans. That one-handed grab against Carolina, it didn't just make highlight reels. It became a symbol of the potential future for Cleveland's passing game. For fans who have been through countless disappointing seasons, the idea of a homegrown connection between Sanders and a local product like Floria is almost too perfect. And now, those two are back on the same field again. What this means for Sanders' future. Make no mistake, Shedeur Sanders is playing the long game. He knows that his rookie year is about growth, patience, and preparation. But every week, he's laying the groundwork for what could come next. Whether that's a start later this season, an opportunity in 2026, or a future as Cleveland's long-term answer at quarterback. And even if none of that happens, the experience of running an NFL offense every single week is invaluable. He's learning what it means to be a pro, one Browns insider said. He's treating every scout team rep like it's the fourth quarter of a real game. That's going to pay off down the line. The bigger picture, Cleveland's QB situation. Of course, all of this takes place against the backdrop of Cleveland's quarterback drama. Deshaun Watson's contract makes it difficult for the Browns to move on from him anytime soon, but his play has been inconsistent enough that whispers about the next guy up have started to grow louder. Jameis Winston is a capable veteran, but he's not seen as a long-term solution. That leaves Sanders as the potential heir apparent, if he develops as expected. The Browns front office has to be thrilled with what they're seeing so far. Why Sanders' attitude matters. Perhaps the most impressive thing about Sanders right now isn't his arm talent or his football IQ. It's his maturity. It would be easy for a rookie in his position to sulk, complain, or check out. Instead, he's engaged, upbeat, and genuinely excited about the chance to work with his teammates, even if those teammates are on the practice squad. That mentality doesn't just help him grow. It sets an example for everyone else in the building. Looking ahead, as the 2025 season progresses, Browns fans will be watching closely. Will Shedeur Sanders get his first taste of NFL action this year? Will he get a start if Cleveland falls out of playoff contention late in the season? No one knows for sure, but if and when that moment comes, Sanders will be ready. For now, he'll keep running the scout team, keep throwing to Luke Floria and Gage Larvadain, and keep preparing like a starter. Because one day soon, he just might be one.